Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee Chat with Dr. Jane Ruby. Glad you're here, everybody. Got a beautiful cup I'm going to tell you about in a minute. Also wanted to mention we have to run like a 30-second just to give people a chance to get in. So I'm going to talk today about, Trump got famous for writing a book called The Art of the Deal. And it was before he was in politics, right? He's probably always been in politics. But in The Art of the Deal, I found it fascinating. I read it a couple of times, actually, back in the mid, 2015, 2014. And what I found fascinating was his candidness in terms of how he got deals done and the way he treated people and his self-preservation. I don't fault some of that as a business person, but it truly came out as a president, especially in the last few months. So, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to share with you some information that informs you why these likely illegal mergers and deal making and exchange of money for programs with individual companies without using government agencies, which in and of themselves are pretty corrupted as well, but we let it get that way. But anyway, why they're so dangerous to you, the American public, the everyday person. Okay, before I do that, and I want to make sure that I share some other information about why this $70 million or $1 million deal with Pfizer is not going to help you with your drug prices, and how many of you just jump to, he's going to lower our drug prices. I'm going to show you why that's really foolhardy, and you better pull that back and look a little deeper. Okay, first I want to thank the benefactor of this beautiful cup. It's so cheerful. It's perfect for Saturday morning. Love the coral orange. Drinking a little lemon and ginger tea. Really good for the biome. It says God loves you. It's carved in there. It's really beautiful. This is from a wonderful follower, member of my channels, Donna from Ossining, New York. Big enough town, city, right? Donna writes, "Thank you for all you do, Dr. Jane. You are one brave soul out there who is not afraid to tell it like it is. A lot have given in." Yes, they have, Donna. Yes, they have. Bless you. May God protect you. Blessings always, Donna. And so, in addition to a very generous check, I really appreciate it so much, is this cup, which I adore. And I love the big ones too. I love all size cups. I love everything you guys send me, but this is a little fuller cup, so you could do your tea, coffee, or your soup. Okay, so let's start. Why are these deals? First of all, I'll let the legal eagles and the legal experts explain to you in detail why these arrangements and these situations that Trump is putting together with private companies, especially companies that just spent the last 5 years killing Americans in collaboration with the Department of Defense, which I guess they're not defending us anymore, are they? It's the Department of War. We're about war. Okay, whatever. Nothing like telling us who you really are. But these companies are killer companies. Moderna is a creation of the federal government and Anthony Fauci that kind of just sat there and for many, many years didn't do anything, didn't produce anything, didn't do any research, didn't develop medications. Was just sitting there in the wings until the COVID scam hit. And then it was all of a sudden right next to Pfizer, right? And they both had very dangerous injections for the COVID flu. That was really a gain of function organism dropped on different parts of the country to be able to give many of you the visual to scare you into taking the shots. Okay, just want to give you the rounded Now, Trump comes out on day 3 after his inauguration for his second term this past January. And he marches out Larry Ellison, right, the CEO of Oracle. These are companies, Sam Altman, these companies, the Palantir, the surveillance. These companies have worked with our intelligence agencies and gotten huge multi-billion-dollar government contracts over the years to spy on us, to create, to feed, after the Patriot Act, that funneled all kinds of money to these companies to be able to listen to everything we're all doing right now. Even when your TV's off in there and you're talking to your family members, you're being surveilled. Your words, and those of you, sorry, you're going to hate me, but you idiots who've got Alexa in the house, right? Or Echo, or any of these AI systems. Hey, Alexa, could you turn the radio down? Because I'm too lazy to get up. God forbid I should burn a calorie getting up and turning off or turning up and down the volume of my stereo system. Because that convenience thing and that fun thing is just to lure you in. The real purpose of those kinds of systems is to track your words, your actions, your interactions, and the smart home stuff is dangerous because they're tracking everything you do. They know when you come, when you go. They know when you go upstairs to your bedroom and have sex with your partner, and they know when you're having a shower, and yeah. So you're like, oh, we're all so deep embedded into it. I'm not as much as some people. I mean, I'm trying to pare it down. But we all went head on into new technology because it was fun. Because it did we're all excited by innovation. But what we didn't realize at the time was as they were bringing us along, they were bringing us to innovation to control us under the guise of, this is exciting, something new. Well, this is the same theme that is pulling some of you along with this day 3 when Trump came out and said, I'm going to let Larry Ellison explain this, but we're going to be able to bring you an mRNA that's going to find your cancer really early inside your body, and it's going to be able to attack it and cure you of it. Okay, so before I get to the Pfizer deal, because there's a sub deal behind it, which is why the Trump's deal, his drug deal with Pfizer, is so dangerous. I want to share with you that this is, Larry Ellison comes out to talk about a modality, right? The gene therapy that just injured and murdered 2/3 of the American population. And they have the nerve to come forward and tell you how we're going to use that technology to zero in on your cancer, which is what they said they were going to do with the respiratory, with the flu, right? And stop it, prevent it. When it comes into your body, we're going to teach your body to be better at identifying, resisting, killing, stopping flu illness in your body. Well, now you saw the murders, you saw you people in the military, the 3 DOD whistleblowers, Doc Pete Chambers, Teresa Long, Sam Sigaloff, Mark Bashaw. Those are the DOD whistleblowers from the Defense Military Epidemiology Database, which is the equivalent of the VAERS, but a little more precise, in the military. All those fighter pilots, all those military that died, forget the ones that left for a minute, because they didn't want to take it and they were right and all that, and they lost their military accumulations, their ranks, and all, they left. Let's focus on those that died. Let's focus on those that dropped dead after taking their shot, or that weeks later had myocarditis and were grounded for life. They could never, elite fighter pilots spent millions training these people. But they're going to bring back, they're very focused on cancer. Why? Remember I told you it's the carrot or the stick. The stick was, take this COVID flu shot or you're going to kill your grandmother. Well, they know you're not going to go for the stick again, at least not for a generation or two. So what do they come up with? We got to come up with a carrot. Let's come up with a carrot. Because it's very important that you come in for this shot. Okay? You can't force anything. They can't, forget mandates. They can't even say to you, if you don't take this, you're going to, you can't come to work or anything, right? It's cancer. And let me tell you, let me remind some of you and others who don't know my background. I am a 2-time survivor of breast cancer, 2 primaries, ended up having a full radical mastectomy down to the chest wall. So nobody knows better than me how frightening it is to get a cancer diagnosis. Hey Jane, sorry to let you know, but your biopsy was positive again. I'm going to get into all the other things about how they cause cancer with mammograms, how they cause metastasis with biopsies, but let's not go there right now. I want you to stay with me on this topic. Nobody knows how fearful that is. Horrible. You just freeze. You're like, okay, what do I do first? How do I save my life? I'll do anything you say. Where do you want me? Okay. That's going to be the carrot, you see, because the carrot is when you beg for it, not acquiesce to it because you're going to lose your job. That was the stick. We're going into the carrot because the majority of people, unless you've been following me for the last 5 years or other people that have done the work I've done, you're going to be so scared shitless that you're going to beg for it. There's a vaccine. First of all, why would you take a vaccine that taxes and stresses your immune system into further action when you're already sick, when you're already compromised, whether it's your immune system or some other body system is compromised, or when you already have cancer? But they said this is gonna cure it. It's gonna cure it. We're gonna make the art of the drug deal like you wouldn't believe of the century. Art of the drug deal. And by the way, before I get too into this, I want to credit Sasha Latapova, who's done incredible work, analysis, brought you the fact that the whole COVID scam is a DOD mass genocide operation, and has called out everything you've seen, along with Catherine Watt, legal analyst up in Pennsylvania, who wrote her, in my opinion, it's her opus, and that is the American domestic bioterrorism program, right? Our government's doing it to us. Okay. That phrase, the art of the drug deal, yes, it is a take on Trump's book, The Art of the Deal. It's always about a deal. And he's going to tell you how good it is for you when it's really good for him. It's really good for him, okay? But Sasha Latapova gets credit for the phrase, and I looked it up. Nobody's written a book so far, and nobody has trademarked the phrase. I'm not sure you can, if it's too broad, but she nailed it. Trump, the art of the drug deal. Okay. I wanted to share with you that if you really look at what Trump's done, a lot of the things he's done, he has enriched himself and his family in this second term already, not even a year in, more than any other president. And when it all comes out, it's going to be too late because he's not going to be able to do anything about it. He's going to have already secured the money. So Donald Trump has launched, and there's no credit here. Oops, hold on. Being liberal is the only watermark on it, so credit. Okay, so Donald Trump has launched Trump RX. And by the way, all you ankle biters, online saying he's not going to get any money for it's a prescription program. Nobody uses the Trump name. Nobody. Without at least a licensing deal for the time they're using it. You don't think it's going to bring money to the system? Dude, please. Come on, you're smarter than that, okay? So get off my feed with that. He's launched Trump RX, the Trump Gold Card, the Trump Mobile, Trump Coin, which he made hundreds of millions, Trump Social and Truth Social. A lot of money from these are assets. Okay, these are things in the Trump name. In the pipeline is the Trump Golf Resort in Qatar, while he's president, making deals with Qatar and geopolitical maneuverings, which he should not be doing. He should not be having deals with the Trump Golf Resort. And just because Eric is doing it, his son or somebody else in the family, doesn't mean he's not going to be enriched by it. Trump Plaza in Saudi Arabia, Trump Tower in the United Arab Emirates. Melania has her own crypto coin. Now she's in on the deal. Jared has bought a lot of things based on his insider knowledge. And Trump just accepted a $400 million jet from Qatar. I mean, if Joe Biden did that, which he did, a lot of those types of things, and everybody was all on it, and so was Trump. But he gets back in and he does the same exact thing. But the Bushes and the Clintons are the swamp? How's your grocery bill doing? Salaries any higher? Does it feel like you're getting poorer while your president and his family gets richer? But don't worry, he's going to send you a $2,000, $1,000, $1,200, $2,000 stimulus check. Obama Trump. Oh Trump. Oh Trumpa. Like blending Obama and Trump. Don't worry, you're going to get a $1,500. Don't worry. You got a $400 million plane as a gift, a personal gift. You can't take that. I worked in the Office of Presidential Correspondence. I was taught that by law, any gifts to the president don't belong to the president. They belong to the people of the United States. Can't use it personally. If they do, they have to pay for it. If he wants to use that jet, he has to buy it. Otherwise, it goes into the National Archives. Or it's sold for profit into the tax base for the people of the United States, whatever. All this guy's done is rack up enrichment. And there are so many of you out there that are just, he's doing so much, leave him alone. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy on this nation. Okay, so let's go back to the art of the drug deal. Let's talk about the art of Trump's drug deal this past week, because there's a lot more there than meets the eye. I know a lot of you did your typical knee-jerk, read the title, saw a few clips from the press conference in the Oval Office with Albert Bourla, the CEO of Pfizer, and that other fraud, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the recovering junkie who's sitting there laughing and smiling. Then the guy has one moment of zoning out, and everybody goes, look at him, he's throwing dagger eyes at Bourla. No, he isn't. No, he isn't. He was quoted in the meeting as saying, Bourla's just an incredible role model for corporate, caring of the people. I mean, oh, Lord, if I don't laugh, I'm going to cry. So the art of the drug deal that Trump struck for you, y'all think it's for you. Like I said, a lot of you, title, you saw the clip, you said, oh my God, he's going to lower our night. Dr. Jane, how can you be so, ridiculous? Or there were a lot nastier comments, but I'll just put it there, paraphrase. How can you be so stupid and ridiculous? He's lowering our drug prices. So what? Okay, I know Pfizer was bad, but you know what? If there's one good thing that comes out of it, that's like saying to a serial killer who just stabbed your child to death, bloody, well, we're going to do a children's line and name it after the child. At least something good came out of it. Can't you, and the guy's going scot-free. Well, something like that. No, it's not what you think it is. First of all, let me educate you about something. The government is the biggest customer of any pharmaceutical company. How is the government the biggest customer, Dr. Jane? Think they just go out like in a shopping cart and say, we'll take, 100 million doses of that pill and we'll take 200 million doses of that shot? No. They do it through two major programs that we pay for, called Medicare and Medicaid. And having been in health economics and managed care on the medical side, but doing research work for them, let me clarify a couple things for you. Medicare is not a whole entitlement program because you paid into it. If you worked all your life, you paid into it. And then it's calculated the number of years you worked, averaging out your salary, and that's how you get your Social Security payment. Now, Medicare. When you turn 65, you are obligated to take Medicare Part A. That Part A is hospitalization, catastrophic care. You don't pay for it. That's your entitlement, right? And as you worked all those years, some money goes in there just like it goes in your Social Security. Now, if you want the HMOs, the doctor visits, I want all my health care for free, then you buy some plan within what's called Medicare Part B. Okay, won't get into the weeds of that. That's that group of people. The majority of people who do not have private insurance or that Medicare piece after retirement age that are on the government dole are getting their health care from something called Medicaid. Medicaid was supposed to be for indigent, widows, orphans, things like that. People who couldn't work and the disabled. It blew up into a lot of other things because Congress is greedy and they're pigs. But Medicaid is a huge customer, Medicare and Medicaid, of any pharmaceutical company. When he strikes the dirty deal, the art of the drug deal with Albert Bourla for $70 million, you don't even know what it's for. It's for better medications, Bourla said. Better vaccines. Better than the ones that killed us? Wow, that can't be too hard to do. What are you going to use for that? And he wants to make cancer. He wants to focus on he wants to make focus on cancer, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But he wants those are his pet projects, he said in the meeting. That's what I want to do. Because that's where the rest of the money is. You're not going to save money on your prescription costs unless you're in Medicaid. You're not paying anything anyway, so there's nothing to save. Okay, it's a Ponzi scheme wrapped up in a fraud and packaged up in a phony, we're going to give you some free shit package. Okay? So you ain't saving money on your drugs if you're in Medicaid. You're not paying anything. People who are working for their insurance, they buy, their insurance may come with a pharmacy prescription writer, and back to Medicare, the retired people, they can buy Medicare Part C, kind of D, whatever it is, for prescription, but they're paying for it. Oh yeah. So the thought is that, well, they might save some money. But remember, let me bring you back. The biggest customer is not that little carve out of pharmacy and Medicare. It's Medicaid, and you're not paying for it anyway, so you're not saving anything. They're liars and shysters. Okay. Hey guys, just a quick break to tell you about the Triad Air Mini. This is an incredible little instrument. It's for a single room, like a dorm, or if you're a massage therapist or your work involves, one room, 200 or 300 square feet. This is a negative ion air purifier. It literally attaches to organisms like mold spores and things like that in the air and drops them to the ground. You eventually vacuum or sweep them up. You don't really see them, but your breathing is better. And you can get it now for 10% off and free shipping from airwaterhealing.com. The guys at Triad Air have a new shipment of these little minis. They're fabulous. They literally, no cords. They plug right into the wall and you don't hear anything. You don't smell anything. The air that you're breathing is just clean and healthy. It's really great for college dorm rooms. Your child is away at boarding school, anything like that, just where you're in a single room. Check it out today at airwaterhealing.com. Use the promo code RUBY for 10% off and free shipping. That's airwaterhealing.com. Why is your managed retirement account still using strategies that haven't changed in over 5 decades? Most IRAs, 401ks, and TSPs are still using the default 60-40 strategy because it benefits corporations, not you. If you have over $100,000 in retirement savings, get instant access to a free 2-minute report from Augusta Precious Metals that reveals how to take control of your financial future in one step. Visit goldwithjane.com today. That's goldwithjane.com, or text Jane, Jane, to 35052 today. Let's get back to the art of the drug deal. Albert Bourla's wet dream is to make the next big billion-plus killing on cancer. Cancer is the carrot. You get a cancer diagnosis. Well, can I get that new vaccine from Pfizer? Can I get that new, cure? First of all, cure? Prevent cancer? Cure cancer? Do you know what the revenue generating power is of the current cancer treatments? Chemotherapy, disfiguring surgery, and burning radiation. Let me just tell you, it's in the high trillions, the high billions. We're talking, I could look it up, but you could look it up too. It's in the many, many multi-billions. You think they're gonna drop that, wipe that away with a vaccine you gotta start using your reasoning. Use your rationale. Use your frontal cortex. Stop going to Grok and chat this thing and, oh, Grok, is it true? How much money do they make on it's pre-programmed propaganda. Somebody had to put the information in there for you to then go dial it up and say, Grok, is that true? And then the AI system, pulls pieces and puts together a story that it's been programmed to put together. Stop surrendering your frontal cortex, which is your reasoning, your executive function, your planning, your ability to discern, separate out different things and think of consequences around them at one time. Stop surrendering that to those systems, those AI systems. They're you gotta repeat it after me. They are pre-programmed propaganda machines. There's no spontaneous intelligence on them. There's no spontaneous thought. They are programmed. If this, then that. Thousands of algorithms that interact with each other so that it'll come out. Some of these people are doing spaces on Twitter where they're saying, okay, we've got the Grok machine. Okay, Grok, what do you think? And then there's this woman's voice that comes in and says, oh, that's really a problem. Let me dissect that for you. And it makes it sound more natural, more human-like, but it's not. Repeat after me. It is a pre-programmed propaganda machine. The answers it gives you, whether you like them or not, but most of the time they program them so that you'll like them, are planned ahead of time. Okay. So the art of the drug deal is that Trump is giving American money, $70 million over whatever, a year, I don't know, whatever it is. Don't get me on the details. Don't navel gaze me into the neat details. To Pfizer, and then I guess other companies will get other money, right? Right? He had to throw a bone to Eli Lilly, right? Okay. In order for them to develop new things and better, you didn't get anything specific, did you? You just got Borla's wish list, right? Okay. Understand the backstory. Look in my Twitter and Telegram. I've done extensive reporting on Pfizer's partner, which I'm going to bring in. I'm going to tie it together for you in a minute. Pfizer's partner in COVID. Who was Pfizer's partner in COVID? Da na 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 da na 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 da na na na. Okay, I won't torture you with my singing. BioNTech in Germany, right? Because the founders of BioNTech, these Turkish expats who live in Germany now and who are responsible for murdering and maiming millions all over the world, along with Pfizer and the US government, Aslam Teresi and Ugur Sahin. Okay? Husband and wife, MDs. They've been chomping at the bit to get their mRNA shot out for cancer. And then you got over in the States at University of, is it UPenn? It's UPenn. The real inventor, not that skank, Robert Malone, but the real inventor of the mRNA platform, that murderous killer, Drew Weissman. Remember him? Carolina Carico? Got the Nobel Prize for actually inventing the mRNA biological poison that was then put in the shots. Probably at Fort Detrick. Okay, I'm going to tie it all together for you. Pfizer and BioNTech all together, no daylight. But Sahin and Teresi from BioNTech got distracted from developing their cancer vaccine, their cancer cure shot with mRNA when the COVID thing hit. And they were told, that's okay, you'll make billions. Just ride with us on this one. Manufacture the mRNA and make it for the COVID shots. And we'll work with you. You do that in Europe and around the world, and we'll do it in the Pfizer. We're Pfizer, we'll do it in the United States. There's no daylight between Albert Bourla of Pfizer and Sahin and Teresi from BioNTech. They founded it. They founded BioNTech in Germany. Okay. So now they're gonna bring it all around to you. Cancer. See, cancer is what I call the carrot because you're going to beg for it. You get a loved one who gets that diagnosis, you're going to be scared shitless. You get a diagnosis of cancer, it's stage 3, I'm sorry, you got this in your liver. You're like, what the F? I'm going to try anything I can. And you're going to run to it. You're going to beg for it. And that's what they plan for the second round. You think they're going to come down the street and force inject you? Come on, dude, please. They're not that stupid. This is like a 100, 200, 300-year plan. They're going to wait till there's institutional and societal memory loss, and then they're going to do it again in about 100 years. Maybe 80, who knows? They damaged enough of the frontal cortices of enough human beings on the planet, they may be able to dupe them again in maybe 50, when this layer of all of us are gone. Okay, now that you know the players and they're all connected, you should know that in 2023, Pfizer spent $43 billion with a B, billion dollars to acquire a company called Seagen, which is really short. The original name of the company was called Seattle Genetics, Seagen, okay? okay? Because they want to build their cancer portfolio, okay? Burla was so busy, I was so busy, making billions, killing Americans and others around the world with the mRNA shot, the Pfizer COVID shot, that I couldn't focus on what I really love. Okay, well, he said it. He said it. Let's hear it. He said, it wasn't in the first one. It was in, and you heard it. Okay, this is the one. And I'll try to speed it up to where Burla talks about this. Now I can get back to what I want to do. Ready?
We are ready to invest, as the president also mentioned, $70 billion in the next few years.
In what, Albert?
Pfizer. In manufacturing and research in America alone.
Okay. So the deal was you're going to build like a factory or two, 70 million rather. 70 million, that's like a couple of factories building them, right? Manufacturing plants in America. It's the biggest company in the world. They've got hundreds and hundreds of offices and manufacturing plants all over the world. This is not going to hurt them. This is bullshit. Okay, but he's gonna spend that money. You're gonna give it to me, but I'm gonna spend it here. You're giving it to me. That's like giving your kid an allowance, right? Of $10,000, but they can only spend it in the house. Okay.
I really think this is an historical moment because also I can put that behind us and focus on the things that I want to spend my time.
What's that, Albert?
Cancer treatments, to bring better obesity medicines, to bring better vaccines, to bring things that people value. And
yeah.
Thank you for
Well, let me
allowing
tell you something, Albert. Things that people value are their lives and living as long as possible with their loved ones and having their loved ones live as long as possible. So he wants to bring you, number one was cancer, and he wants to bring you better vaccines. He doesn't give a shit that you're maimed, disabled, that you're in your 20s or 30s and you can't breathe when you walk across the room. He's not going to address that. He's going to bring you better versions of the thing that caused your disability or that made your husband drop dead after his shot in the military. He's going to bring you better vaccines. See, a lot of you don't listen. You don't listen to what Trump says in these press conferences with these people, and then you don't do any context around it. The backstory is everything. The backstory prevents you from falling off the cliff. Okay, let's go back to CGen. CGen makes these targeting antibodies. Now, I laugh because nobody ever shows you the science. Nobody ever shows you under an electron microscope or something other than a cartoon or a drawing that they did, or just a statement. You say it, it's true, right? We have antibodies that target cancer cells. Oh, really? I would call that a smart antibody. Really, a synthetic antibody. Remember, it can't be anything natural in the body or they couldn't sell it. A lab-created antibody. Well, what is that made of? And by what way does it attract itself or recognize that cancer? There is no science behind it. It doesn't exist. It's a fairy tale to get you to say, wow, well, they're able to target my cancer, like attach it and then stop it. It's a fairy tale that you go out and advocate for. That's the carrot. So they have targeting antibodies, it says. And by the way, so now Pfizer now owns CGen and this technology, which they're going to match either with mRNA or just have these magic targeting antibodies, just like the mRNA was magic in how it stimulated your immune system to be amazing and prevent COVID or make sure you don't get it too severely. These targeting antibodies, these magic antibodies, are chemically linked to a toxic drug payload. Okay, So we're still going to deliver poison, like in chemotherapy, but instead of running a drip in your arm for chemo, for those of you who've had it, they're going to inject a little teeny weeny payload in this antibody. The targeting ability, watch the fairy tale, of the antibody is meant to deliver a lethal strike. Bam! Wow. What a carrot. I want that. I want that. A lethal strike to cancer cells that spares healthy tissue. Whoa. All that chemotherapy is going to go away. All those big hospital systems, United Healthcare, Kaiser Permanente, all these big insurance. Ooh, they're going to go. It's going to go away. Chemotherapy, billions of dollars a year in revenue, gone. Yeah, right. Because we got a magic antibody that's going to go into your body, say, yep, there's the cancer cell. Boom, I'm going to kill you. You're gone. You don't need chemotherapy, Mrs. Jones, because this magic antibody is going to link up with a toxic payload. Honey, this is a fantasy. It's a fairy tale. It's Grimm's fairy tales, let me tell you. That spares healthy cells. Don't need chemotherapy. If you think they're going to give up that revenue, that alone should tell you, boom, lie. Lie. There are already a couple of these magic antibodies out, approved. In fact, Seagen's first one was called Adcetris. It was developed under a partnership with Takeda, the pharmaceutical company Takeda. The drug won its first approval in 2011. 2011, this magic antibody was out for treating 2 types of lymphoma. It accounted for, watch this, 839 million, that's almost $1 billion, in 2022 revenue, a 19% increase from the prior year. And by the way, speaking of stock going up, after the art of the drug deal was announced in the Oval Office this past week, what do you think happened to Pfizer stock? That was another gift. That was another gift. Hey, Albert, I'll let you come into the Oval Office. We'll announce this deal. We'll give you the 70. You make me look good. You make me, look like I'm bringing back pharmaceuticals and manufacturing to the United States. Where do you think Pfizer and all these other companies are getting their base materials? A lot of it's from China, but go look it up. So when Pfizer took over Seagen in 2023, right, while they were poisoning and killing Americans and others all over the world, they made a statement and said, Pfizer is developing several mRNA-based cancer treatments in collaboration with BioNTech. See how it comes back around? With some already in clinical trials. Oh yeah, because the Teresi and Sahin of BioNTech, the founders, they've been running these trials. They're ready to come out with your pivotal trials and tell you how wonderfully safe and effective it is, and whatever percentage they want to come out with in the fairy tale. The company's cancer strategy is a major extension of their partnership, which successfully delivered one of the first mRNA COVID-19 vaccines. You believe they have the nerve to say that? Their initiatives are in 2025. Now, mind you, this is happening while Trump gives them $70 million in blood money, right, to do the work in the United States. In 2025, Pfizer and BioNTech expanded their collaboration to accelerate the development of mRNA-based cancer vaccines. You gonna take it? Think about it. This is not about losing your job. This is, you're gonna be put in a position where you beg for it, for your life. Literally, for your life. Maybe they've said to the chemotherapy makers, we'll give you a little, on the side. We'll cushion you. We'll give you no tariffs or tax-free. That was the other quid pro quo. Trump singles out Pfizer, and then he said a couple of other companies, and they're going to get a 3-year reprieve from the tariffs while the other companies choke on it. Conflict of interest up the wazoo. You're going to beg for it. You're going to be so scared, you're going to beg for it. Decades of research. BioNTech was originally founded in 2008 to develop individualized cancer immunotherapies using the mRNA technology, as I just told you. The accelerated development of the COVID-19 shot repurposed many of the same scientific principles that the company had been exploring for cancer. Okay. Jesus, how stupid do you think they are? Clinical trials are testing mRNA cancer vaccines, including melanoma, pancreatic, lung, and prostate cancers. I want to see the preclinical. That's animals, and I want to see phases 1, 2, and 3. And in phase 1, I want to see full-blown pharmacokinetics, absorption, metabolism, elimination. I want to see the details. And then I want to see the requisite phase 2 and 3 with tens of thousands of subjects all over the world that substantiates any numbers you come out with. And then the UK is gone, man. I mean, digital ID and the whole bit. In 2023, the UK government, this is why they're already owned. A lot of these governments, these countries are already owned by Pfizer. When you see Pfizer, you say /DOD, /US government, okay? They're all one. They're one. But UK government already partnered with BioNTech to provide access to personalized mRNA cancer vaccine trials for up to 10,000 patients. Access. Sure, you want your health care this month, you got to participate in this. I don't know what the deal is in the UK, but that's when they say ensure access, there's a way that they're going to strong arm their socialist, patients, their socialist medicine treated patients. That's what I wanted to say. How mRNA cancer vaccines work. Unlike traditional vaccines, watch this, and you're going to get a little bit of deja vu here. Unlike traditional vaccines that prevent infectious diseases, these therapeutic cancer vaccines are designed to activate a patient's own immune system to target and attack existing cancer cells. We never really saw that science. In fact, we saw a devastating result of that claim, didn't we? And without refining, clarifying, or any transparency there, we're going to come out with the same promise and the same technology. You going to walk into that? You going to take that? You might. You might. It's a carrot. It's a glimpse of saving your life. And then they go through this cock and bull story. The process generally involves these steps. Instructional RNA. An mRNA vaccine is taken up by antigen-presenting cells, such as dendritic cells, and then the mRNA provides instructions to the cell to produce specific proteins called tumor-specific antigens. So we're going to go from spike protein to tumor-specific antigens, and they'll call it TSA, tumor-specific. Oh, how's your TSA level? How's your like these people that go around social media, these people that are supposedly, some of them are definitely COVID shot injured. Some of them are not. But the point is they're going around perpetrating, probably for money somewhere along the line. What's your spike protein count? Well, I've been doing, I've been taking onion powder and, whatever, this thing or that thing, and mine are down. My well, this is going to be the new spike protein to measure, which is never really measured. There is no validated instrument. And then there's immune training. Remember that fairy tale? The antigen presenting cells, which is the magic antibody, then present these spike protein, now tumor-specific antigens. They're just foreign proteins. They present these antigens on their surface. This trains, their own quote, T cells to recognize these as foreign, enabling the immune system to hunt for them and destroy them. That's how you got myocarditis. That's how you got myocarditis. That's how you had a stroke. Those of you who had a stroke, That's how you can't walk across the room without falling into a chair and sleeping. That's how you got severe autoimmune disease. Wherever those synthetic poisons hit you and told your cells to make the antigen, you can get rid of them all day long, by the way. Those of you who are like, detoxing, you want to go further upstream. What we want to do is we want to turn that mRNA off, but I don't trust any of them to develop something to do that. Targeting therapy. In some of these cases, these vaccines are personalized in some of these cases. Larry Ellison said all of the cases in the Oval Office that day with Trump, day 3 of his presidency. He didn't say some people. See, now we've gone from everybody to some people. Then it'll be to just some rare people. By tailoring the mRNA to target antigens, neoantigens. Oh, that's another word for the new spike protein is neoantigens. Tumor-specific antigens, spike protein, found on individual-specific tumor. There's no science for that. There's no science for that. There's no science. There's no proof of that. If the public sat back and said, okay, that's pretty interesting. You know what? That sounds great. All right, now I want you to break it down for me, and I want you to show me, not cartoons, not trotting out your scientific team from ClinOps or anything like that. I want to see how you went through that process, and I want to see that people survived all of it. Because this technology is still not ready for prime time in humans. Then they talk about their key challenges. Oh, yeah, you got some challenges. Pfizer, BioNTech, Seagen. Okay. Key challenges and future outlook. While promising mRNA cancer treatments still face significant hurdles before they can be widely accepted, here are some of the areas, and I've brought these up before. Tumor heterogeneity. In other words, every tumor cells are different. They're different, the way they congeal, the way they formulate themselves, the way they behave mechanically, very different. There is no universal cancer vaccine. There is no magic antibody. Delivery and stability. Go look at the FDA website on guidance for industry. It's called Guidance for Industry, and then put in gene therapy. And that's exactly what these are. And they will say, warning the company 10, 15 years ago, and even today, these are active guidance documents. You don't know where it goes. You don't know how to stop it. You don't know if it goes wayward and it doesn't do what it did in the lab. How do you turn it around in a human being? You've got to do more studies in animals. Do children last? But what did we see? No, we got pregnant women and fetuses and newborns shot up with COVID mRNA poison. Ensuring the mRNA reaches the correct cells before degrading requires specialized delivery systems. Boom, there's your LNP, your lipid nanoparticle, and that's part of the toxicity. That needs further optimization, such as the lipid nanoparticles. Yeah, you better believe it needs more refinement. It's the lipid nanoparticle that does part of the killing and maiming. But then once it delivers into the cell, that genetic synthetic, not real, not organic, not natural to the human body, RNA instruction to make the new spike protein. Tumor-specific antigen, neoantigen. Those are the new spike proteins. Yeah. What are you doing talking about that? What are you doing? And then they went on to say there's a lot of misinformation out there. People are saying that, the mRNA shots and platform actually cause cancer. Oh, we've had this explosion, 11,000% in cancer in the DMed military database, and as well as huge explosion of turbo, fast, aggressive, developing rare cancers after the shots. But these aren't going to cause cancer. First of all, they say it does not enter the nucleus of the cell. Show me. Show me. Prove it to me. The mRNA from a vaccine only provides temporary instructions. Show me. Breaks down quickly within days. Bullshit. Bullshit. By now, many of you COVID shot injured should be able, you're a better expert at this than me. You should be able to say, no way, I've still got inflammation, I've still got problems. Your body's still reacting to a foreign protein. That's what it is, because your body has become a factory for making those poison synthetic proteins. And that's upstream. That's where you need to be in terms of stopping this or turning it around, if it can be done at all. Notice how nothing's ever focused on that. But guess who there's no evidence to support that the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine or the mRNA platform can cause cancer. But guess who the fact checkers are? Ha! The American Cancer Society, that's so heavily funded by government and by Pfizer and by all the other pharmaceutical companies, it's not even funny. And the other one is the facts, Pfizer. Yeah, okay, you proofread, you fact check your own stuff, Pfizer. Okay. Look, a lot of people out there that are COVID shot injured or lost a loved one are mad at me because I keep challenging them. You keep doing the same thing over and over again. Dr.Jane, she's a bitch. She did this. She said that. She's trolling. I'm trying to tell you the truth. I'm trying to give you the truth because you go far down the road of the wrong thing. You go to congressional members who exempted themselves from the shot. They're not going to help you. What have they done in 5 years besides hold a few hearings? What have they done? Zero. You go to frontline doctors who've sold their souls to the devil and sell you onion powder for $50, $60, $100. You keep going to the drugstore for COVID tests, which you know are fake, PCR, whatever version it is. You keep, and then you keep whining on your spaces that nothing's being done, that you're left alone, that no one's hearing you. But you're doing the same thing over and over and over again. And now you watched, the humiliation ritual was mostly on the COVID shot injured this week, but it was on the rest of us as well. Look at us. We're gonna transfer of wealth, 70 million of American money to Pfizer that just finished, killing and injuring you guys. But don't worry about it. We got this. It's the art of the drug deal, my friends. Kudos to Sasha Latapova for bringing the phrase forward. It's the art of the drug deal. Strap yourself in because there are a lot more to come. A lot more drug deals to come, unfortunately. In the meantime, the best revenge is living well and enjoying your life. God bless you all. See you Monday for the Dr. Jane Ruby Show, part 2 of Colonel Ivan Raiklin, and some realities behind the scenes there as well. God bless you all. See you soon.